The wealth that can't be measured. You didn't find this message, you were led to it. Chosen one, this is not a coincidence. This is divine alignment. You didn't just scroll into this moment. Heaven guided your steps. You were led here by a higher hand, drawn by a calling greater than your background, louder than your doubts, and stronger than your circumstances. You felt it. The pressure, the preparation, the spiritual pull. That inner knowing that you were created for more. It's not your imagination, it's revelation. You've always been set apart, and now what you've carried in your spirit is beginning to manifest in your life. This moment isn't just about financial increase, it's about kingdom assignment. You're being positioned not just to become the first millionaire in your family, but to carry the mantle that wealth was always meant to support. This is divine wealth with divine purpose, not for ego, but for impact. God is raising you up to break generational curses, fund visions, bless nations, and build legacies. The prosperity coming your way carries weight, spiritual authority, responsibility, and mission. It's not just about money, it's about healing your bloodline, shifting atmospheres, and walking in prophetic purpose. This is your mantle moment, and only those with the maturity to carry kingdom wealth with humility and obedience will walk in it fully. So if your spirit feels this word, receive it. You've been prepared for this. Wealth is on the way, but even more so, purpose is being unlocked. Stay aligned, stay ready, because what's coming is more than provision. It's positioning for destiny. Chapter 1. You were born with the blueprint. Chosen one, hear this truth. You were never ordinary. Even if you were raised in struggle, surrounded by scarcity, or labeled as average, there has always been something different about you, something divine. From the moment you entered this world, you carried a heavenly blueprint, an invisible design written by God Himself. This blueprint was not given to everyone. It was entrusted to you. Why? Because you were chosen to carry something greater. You didn't come into this world empty. You came equipped with purpose, with vision, and with a mission far bigger than your surroundings. You saw what broken finances could do. You witnessed the pain of lack, the arguments over bills, the fear that comes with not having enough. But instead of becoming bitter, you became aware. Deep down, you always knew there had to be another way. While others settled, you dreamed. While others gave up, you held on. That wasn't ambition, it was assignment. God planted the seed of wealth in your spirit long before it ever touched your hands. Not for status, but for service. You weren't drawn to wealth to flaunt it. You were drawn to fund change, to build what others only dreamed of, to break cycles, create opportunities, and pour into lives in ways that shift generations. You weren't born just to survive. You were born to establish kingdom legacy, to design communities, to write checks that set captives free, to turn pain into purpose. Every job you hated, every financial struggle, every closed door was part of the training. God was preparing you, not just for prosperity, but for stewardship. You've been in mantle training, not just money-making. He had to build your character before releasing the currency. And now, heaven says, I can trust you. Trust you with wealth because you gave when you had little. Trust you with influence because you stayed humble. Trust you with the mantle because you never compromised for the shortcut. You were born with the blueprint. Now, the builder within you is rising. You carry kingdom strategy, spiritual authority, and the wisdom to build not just for now, but for eternity. The season of preparation is making way for manifestation, And what God placed in you is about to shift everything around you. Certainly, here's a longer, inspirational, and godly rephrasing of Chapter 2 for you. Chapter 2. God allowed loss to teach you stewardship. Chosen one, before your elevation, there was a season of emptiness. Before the overflow, there was a drought. Before the reward, there was refinement. God allowed you to walk through seasons of lack, not because He forgot you, but because He was shaping you for something greater. This was never punishment, it was preparation. You've known what it's like to have nothing but faith, to stare at an empty bank account and still believe for abundance, to face bills you couldn't pay while holding on to promises only God could fulfill. You watched others succeed with ease while you sacrificed, stretched, and trusted God through every struggle. But here's the divine truth. God was not a passive observer. He was teaching you stewardship. You've been in mantle training, not just money-making. He had to build your character before releasing the currency. And now, heaven says, I can trust you. Trust you with wealth because you gave when you had little. Trust you with influence because you stayed humble. Trust you with the mantle because you never compromised for the shortcut. You were born with the blueprint. Now, the builder within you is rising. You carry kingdom strategy, spiritual authority, and the wisdom to build not just for now, but for eternity. The season of preparation is making way for manifestation. And what God placed in you is about to shift everything around you. Chapter 2. God allowed loss to teach you stewardship. Chosen one, before your elevation, there was a season of emptiness. Before the overflow, there was a drought. Before the reward, there was refinement. God allowed you to walk through seasons of lack, not because He forgot you, but because He was shaping you for something greater. This was never punishment, it was preparation. You've known what it's like to have nothing but faith, to stare at an empty bank account and still believe for abundance, to face bills you couldn't pay while holding on to promises only God could fulfill. You watched others succeed with ease while you sacrificed, stretched, and trusted God through every struggle. But here's the divine truth. God was not a passive observer. He was teaching you stewardship. Every closed door, every delayed blessing, every financial struggle was a lesson in kingdom economics. You were in a school of refinement, learning to shed scarcity mindsets and embrace the principles of faith-filled management. Because chosen ones don't just receive wealth, they are called to carry responsibility. God allowed you to experience loss so you'd understand how to handle provision with honor. He had to break pride, entitlement, and impulsiveness so they wouldn't sabotage your future. He watched your faithfulness in the smallest moments. The tithes given when you had little, the sacrifices made quietly, the obedience shown when it was hardest. Now you have learned the true value of money. You no longer seek riches for validation, but for vision. You see giving not as a burden, but as a strategy. You understand how to save with wisdom, spend with discernment, and invest with legacy in mind. Your heart desires fruitfulness, not flashiness, impact, not indulgence. Because you passed the test of loss, God is now ready to release the overflow. You are not just prepared to receive wealth, you are ready to steward it well. You are called to be a kingdom economist, a faithful manager of God's resources, entrusted to multiply what He entrusts to you. The world may see millionaires, but heaven sees a vessel prepared by trials, made humble by hardship, and refined by fire. The mantle you carry is sacred, and now it's time for the blessing to follow the battle. Your season of lack was never a setback. It was the foundation for your breakthrough. Chapter 3. The mantle is what makes you powerful. Chosen one, it's not your money that makes you a threat. It's your mantle. It's the anointing you carry, the divine assignment on your life that shifts atmospheres and disrupts darkness. The enemy doesn't fear wealth. He fears a soul aligned with God, equipped with both wisdom and purpose. You've been under attack because your life carries weight. Your finances have a mission. Your name has authority. Your voice is marked for impact. That's why the battles have been intense, because your mantle is meant to break chains, shift generations, and advance the kingdom. You're not here for show. You're here for strategy. You've been refined in the quiet so you can rise with clarity and power. This isn't about status. It's about spiritual warfare. Your mantle is designed to build, to bless, and to bring justice. And now, as your wealth aligns with your calling, heaven moves and hell takes notice. Chapter 4. You're not just gaining wealth. You're rewriting your family's story. This isn't about chasing money or compromising your values. It's about stepping into God's plan for kingdom prosperity built on integrity, purity, and purpose. You are the breakthrough, the one God raised up to end generations of lack, fear, and defeat. You will teach your children how to honor God with their finances, build lasting legacies, and break free from poverty mindsets. This is not just about wealth, but about blessing others and elevating your entire bloodline. Your success is a testimony that holiness and prosperity can walk hand in hand when God is at the center. You are the first in your lineage, but not the last. What God starts in you will multiply and flow through generations. You're not just building wealth, you're building a legacy that honors Him and transforms the earth. This is your divine moment. Step forward. The story is being rewritten by God through you. Chapter 5. Obedience over opinions. The next level God is calling you to won't be reached by consensus. It will be reached by obedience. You weren't chosen by popular vote. You were chosen by divine appointment. And that calling won't always make sense to others. You'll outgrow old spaces, say no to familiar comforts, and take bold steps that seem risky. People may not understand, but they weren't given your assignment. They didn't hear what you heard. They weren't shown what God showed you. This isn't the time to seek validation. This is the time to walk by faith. God is releasing strategies that go beyond logic and ideas that challenge tradition. What unlocks your next season isn't hustle, opinion, or applause. It's obedience. Obedience may isolate you before it elevates you, but trust God. He's proven faithful through every fire and every storm. Stay sensitive to His voice. Protect your peace. Tune out the noise, because one moment of obedience can do what a lifetime of striving never could. You're not moving for people. You're moving for purpose. And your yes to God is the key that will open every door meant for you. Chapter 6. Wealth is not the mission. It's the tool. God is not just increasing your income. He's expanding your assignment. You're not being blessed to simply live better. You're being equipped to make others' lives better. You've known lack. You've endured struggle. And because of that, you now understand this next level isn't just about you. It's about purpose. It's about kingdom impact. This is wealth with instruction to fund visions, lift communities, break generational cycles, and create opportunities for others. You're being called to build what others only dreamed of and restore what was once broken. God can trust you with more, not because you chase riches, but because your heart is anchored in Him. You're not led by pride, but by purpose. You don't spend for show, you give to serve. The warfare over your finances has been intense because the enemy knows what you'll do with wealth. Not waste it, but weaponize it for good. You'll use it to uplift, to deliver, to multiply impact for generations. You are not just wealthy, you are chosen. A vessel of provision, a builder of legacy, a financial weapon in God's hands. Walk boldly, give generously, build faithfully. Let your wealth reflect the heart of the one who gave it. Chapter 7. Chosen one, you're about to walk into what they said was impossible. They misunderstood you. They saw your quietness as weakness, your patience as passivity, your humility as limitation. But while they were judging from the outside, God was working on the inside. You weren't being overlooked, you were being prepared. You weren't delayed, you were being developed. Every moment of pain, silence, and surrender was part of God's divine process. He was shaping you for something greater. And now that time has come, you're stepping into a season of supernatural favor. Doors opening that no one can shut. Opportunities finding you without you chasing them. This is not luck, this is covenant. A result of your obedience, your faithfulness, your endurance when no one was watching. The wealth, influence, and open doors coming your way are not just blessings, they're confirmations that God saw your tears, that your private obedience is about to be honored publicly, that your silent seeds are about to bear visible fruit. You won't need to defend your success or explain your rise. Your peace will speak, your discipline will echo, your impact will be undeniable, and it will all point back to God. This isn't just financial increase, it's a mantle, a responsibility to build what's broken, fund what's righteous, and model what it looks like to carry wealth with wisdom and worship. So prepare your heart, because God doesn't bless chaos. Prepare your mind, because new levels demand new thinking. Prepare your systems, because overflow must be managed. Prepare your spirit, because what's coming will stretch and elevate you. This next season isn't about proving your doubters wrong. It's about proving God right. You're not just rising, you're redefining what's possible for your family, your community, and everyone watching your testimony unfold. You are ready. Now, walk in it.